This is the Gaming Gladiator, and in this video I'm going to showcase the deck list of my Katana World Gargas. One thing to say before I showcase it, this deck focuses mainly on the FTK, not the normal play with the Wind Demon, but I do use that, but I focus more on the FTK rather than the Wind Demon. Okay, let's go right ahead into the deck list. Now I'm going to explain the size 2s first. Of course, I have to run base Garga. I run 4 Daybreak Roars and 1 normal Gargantua Dragon. Why 5? Why not 6 or 4? Well, the normal Katana World Garga only uses 4 because, well, it's not focused on the FTK. I use 5 because it's the right amount for me, not 6 because I think 6 is too much Garga in one deck. Another reason why I run 4 of these and one of these, not 4 of these or one of these, because this draws when it attacks, and if by any chance you couldn't attack with it and it's put into rest or something, on the opponent's turn you can move it to the center, and when it's attacked you can activate G-Evo because G-Evo activates after this card's battle. Okay, so that's that. 5 base Gargas. Now for the Garga evolutions, I run 3 Wind Demon and 3 Kirigakure Dragon. Well, you all know Wind Demon. His effect is counter. You can put the top card of your deck face down, like so. Top card of your deck face down like that, and it becomes a 6,000 attack, 6,000 defense, 2 crit, Drag God. And if you have a card with G-Evo in its soul, you can put 2 copies instead. So I use these 3 because, well, it's very aggro. You can, let's count its attacks: 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks by him, by only him, by him alone. Well, he's very aggro, and not to mention, if you have a monster in the center, well, let's say a token that he made, when your opponent's monster attacks the center monster, if this monster has penetrate, you can just activate replicate on your opponent's turn and then call it to the center, making it miss target the attack, and you won't receive penetrate damage. Okay, that's the reason I brought Fuma in this deck. I mean Wind Demon, because it's just so good. Next, Kirigakure. This is one of the FTK piece. If you notice, he has the effect which he deals 2 damage when he enters by G-Evo, and not to mention, he also searches a spell, a ninja art spell to be precise, when he enters the field. So he's really good at that. I'm going to showcase the FTK combo in the end of the video. Okay. Next, for the size ones, I run 3 Nincats and 3 Knives Ninja Technique Ninbird. Nincat is basically just there for, of course, the advantage, because charge 1, draw 1, charge 1, heal 1, draw 1, and Ninbird's effect activates when a Drow God enters the field. Check top 3, add 1 to hand. When a Drow God enters the field, you discard 1 first. For example, let's say that this enters the field. This effect activates, you discard 1 card from hand, check top 3, add 1 to hand. You don't even reveal the card that you took to the opponent, and then you heal 2. That's really good. Not to mention, Katana World has a lot of discarding effects. Not discarding effects, I mean effects that trigger when it's discarded, like Futon or something. Now, why do I use 3 of these, and why do I use it as a buddy? Because it's pluses so much with Wind Demon. Because Wind Demon creates a Drag God token. That means when he's on the field and you call him and he activates, you gain 2 and add 1, and then on the opponent's turn, and you have this in the center and your opponent attacks, and then you make another clone, this activates again. That's a free plus right there. This is really good. That's why I made him as a buddy. Yeah, activates most times. Okay, that's for the size ones. Now to the items. Well, of course, I run no more than 4 items in this deck. I run 4 DD Dragon Blade Gargantua. Well, there's nothing much to say here. It's just a very good item. It pumps up your whole field except this, your whole monsters, all your monsters. He pumps 3,000 attack and 1 crit, and not to mention, he's also can be an attack nullifier just by discarding a Ninja Arts, in which this deck is filled with Ninja Arts. It's the best item Katana Garga could ever ask for. Yeah, this not a lot to explain there. Oh, and now for the impacts, I run 4 DD Gargantua Punishers. Yep, I run 4 of them just because it's the FTK piece. Yeah, there's nothing much to say here. Its condition is basically non-existent. It's really easy. It's only 12,000 power with 1 Gargantua and 1 random Garga, literally random, any Garga at all. For example, I'm just gonna put this one. This is 3, this is 6, but this buffs 3, so that's 3 plus 9, that's 12. That's already 12 right there. This impact, the condition of having 12,000 power is basically non-existent at this point, and it's only 2 gauge, and it's an FTK piece. That's why I use 4 of them. A normal deck would only use 3, but I use 4 because, or 2. I use 4 just because it's the FTK piece. Next, for the spells, I have so many spells. I'm gonna start off with 4 Art of Truancy. Art of Truancy is the best set spell Katana Gargas could ever ask for. Simply because it gives immunity to your item and your DD Dragon Tribe monsters. It's not only that, as if that wasn't enough, it's also a Shiden, but it's a spell. You pay 1 gauge, discard a Ninja Arts, and then draw 2. It's a spell, but it gives protection. It bestows protection to your monsters and items. It's that good. I think I'm not gonna cut this. It's gonna stay at 4 for a long time, I think. Well, next, I use 4 of Futon Sweeping Whirlwind. Not much to say here. When it's discarded, you charge 1 and draw 1. That's so good. And also, it has an effect to salvage a ninja monster from your drop zone. There's a lot of cards that can discard in this deck. First, Art of Truancy. Second, Gargantua. Third, Nincat. And then 4th, the Ninbird. Well, 4 is a lot, and I use them mostly. I use them almost at their maximum quantities, and this is obviously a 4 off because, well, not only it can salvage a ninja monster, it also has an effect that activates when it's discarded, and it's a +1. No, plus 1 gauge and on draw. It's a no-brainer. Forces 4 up. Okay, next, another card that activates when it's discarded is Ninja Arts Hiding in the Fallen Leaves. This is kind of like Futon, but its normal effect is just counter gain few life. Well, it can save you most times when your opponent tries to hit you with an impact, but it also has a discard effect. When it's discarded, you heal 1 and draw 1. That's pretty good. Well, it pluses 1, so yeah, not much to say there. There's a lot of discarding effects in there. And not to mention, Gargantua is at counter speed, and it can null. Now, another 3 of is Combat Rations Gar-Rice. Not much to say here again. It's just a free draw 2, and again its condition is just having 12,000 power, and that's basically non-existent in this deck. It's quite easy, as I said before, having 12,000 power, and it's a free draw 2. This is really good. Of course, I use 3. Oh, I use 3. I use only 3 of them because it's once per turn, and well, yeah, because it's once per turn. And I have no deck spaces. I have no more deck space. By the way, I use 51 cards in my deck, not 50 because of a card that I will explain later. 2 Searchlights. Just searches size 2 or greater ninja. It searches the FTK piece, Kirigakuei Dragon or Wind Demon, which can win you games. And then I use the card that made me that made my deck count to 51, Ninja Arts Half Guild. Before I added the deck list, I only used 50 cards. Well, I actually forgot what this was, but the point is, I decided to use 51 cards just because of this. Why? Because it's an answer to monsters like Bloody Eyes, that has a lot of soul, and Agito, and well, a lot of things. Like removing souls is really good, and it's free, not to mention. And then I also use 2 Art of Getting Fishes. Just I use this mainly not because of the discard effect. It also the discard effect of the gaining 2 gauge. I don't use it for that. I use it for the salvaging the item or any Gargas or any DD Dragon type. To be honest, it's really good. This is really good. I wish I can bump it up to 3, but well, it's considerable. I can bump it to 3, but for now I only use 2 of them. It can also salvage an FTK piece. Okay, and then I run 2 Buddy Block. Yeah, Buddy Block is yeah, well, I don't even have to explain Buddy Block. Well, I'm just gonna explain it. Well, basically its effect is pay 1. If its effect is pay 1 gauge countered, either the next damage you receive is reduced by 3, or if your opponent's cards have attacked 4 times or more this turn, you will not take damage from attacks. It's basically an phase ender, I think. Well, it stops attack damage, so it's really good. This is very good with Icro decks. Why do I only use 2? Because this deck already draws a lot, very much. That's why I only use 2 of them. I think 2 is the right number for a lot of decks. Next, I use 2 Hiding Onis, just because of the advantage of charge 1 and draw 2. That's basically the whole reason I use this. Well, it helps in the FTK piece in the FTK combo if I miss 1 gauge or something, or I need to find the other FTK pieces. Okay. 1 Clear Serenity and 1 Sakurafubuki. Clear Serenity is there for the FTK. I'll explain it later. And Sakurafubuki is the spell negator. Nothing much to say there. It's a spell negator. That's it. Why do I only use 1? Because Bushiroad limited it to 1. I would have used like 3 probably, or 4, but since Bushiroad limited it, so I only use 1 of them. So next I'm going to explain the FTK combo. Okay, now I'm going to explain the FTK combo. The cards you need are 1 Gargantua, 1 base Gargantua Dragon. Oh, any Gargantua Dragon would work as long as it has Jevo. 1 Kirigakuei Dragon and 1 DD Gargantua Punisher. The good thing about this combo is because these 2 can be salvaged off of Art of Getting Fish, and this one can be searched off from Searchlight. And DD Gargantua Punisher is the hardest part because you have to hard draw it but it's not exactly a problem in this deck because this deck draws very much. Okay, let's start. Let's assume that you have 10 life points, and your opponent also has also uses a normal flag, and it has 10 life points also, right? Okay, let's say that you go first. Okay, you draw. It's irrelevant what you draw now, and then you charge anything but the 4 FTK piece. Charge and draw. Okay, first off, you're gonna equip the Gargantua, pay 1 gauge and pay 1 life. You have 9 life now, and then you're going to call the base Garga to the center, 1 gauge and the top soul. Okay. Now, Gargantua buffs up Gargantua Dragon into a 3 crit monster. So you're in the first turn you're allowed to attack once, so you're gonna attack once, and you deal 3 damage to your opponent. That means your opponent's life is at 7, right? Okay. Okay, cool. Now Gargantua Dragon's G-Evo activates. You G-Evo into Kirigakure Dragon. In which Kirigakure Dragon's effect is when it enters the field, you search your deck for ninja arts. And in this case, you search any card that can give you gauge, at least 1 gauge, at counter speed. Okay, in this case, I'm going to search for Clear Serenity, okay, and add it to my hand. Since Kirigakure Dragon enters because of G-Evo, it deals 2 damage to your opponent and you gain 2 life. That means you're now on 9 plus 2 is 11, and your opponent now is at 5 because previously you attacked with 3 and then you dealt 2, that means it's 5. Now if you look closely at the field, Gargantua has 3000 power and Kirigakure has 6000 power. That's 9000, but Gargantua gives a 3000 and 1 crit buff to all your monsters. That means it's 9000 plus 3000. That's 12,000. And your opponent's life is at 5. So that is the exact requirement for the Gargantua Punisher. So now, at counter speed, you're gonna cast Clear Serenity, gaining 3 gauge, and then go to final phase and cast the Gargantua Punisher, reducing your opponent's life to 0. As easy as that. That's the FTK combo, just like that. God, I love this deck. So, yeah, that's basically it. That's the FTK combo. So, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming content. Have a nice day. Goodbye.